Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from Mother's Basement, and today we are checking out the hottest trash anime of winter 2022. I can't help but notice they've put the world's End Harem in the thumbnail, and I gotta say, I enjoyed the first 3 episodes. I did stop watching it, not because it was... I found it fun. I found it quite fun, but then I noticed that there are a few other anime in the thumbnail that I also put as a no-go in my initial thoughts video for the season. So let's just see how this video goes, shall we?
It's been a cold winter.
Oh god, I like the t-shirt.
I've had to get some extra trash fires roasting just to keep the frost out.
Whoa!
Luckily, the new winter anime season has delivered plenty of extra trashy fuel right when I needed it.
The sage and the armor, the one at the bottom right with the weapons. That was awful, that first episode. Share the warmth.
Allow me to share some of my warmth.
Please.
Provided you do not ask how my extremely intuitive and scientific trash rating system works.
Yes.
I will kick you out into
different
the blizzard.
every time. My god, these videos.
The hottest trash of winter 2022. I think it would be best to kick this trash tasting session off with some familiar comfort garbage.
Okay.
Ari Ferretta, if you didn't know, is back this
season 2. You see, I never watched the first season. Apparently it is awful, but
now it looks like the contents of your high school DeviantArt folder, fighting baddies that fell out of a PS3 game, and very downgraded horny camera work to match, which is both disappointing because the Queen's Blade level shamelessness of the original was incredibly hilarious.
Queen's Blade, what an anime, man. Jeez.
Way less my editors will need to cut around to avoid getting this whole
damn.
Luckily, the story side of the production hasn't lost even an ounce of its shameless wish fulfillment.
Oh no.
Hajime's got himself a magic submarine with magic torpedoes.
That's cool.
Plus these cool crossbit things straight out of Gundam that hang in the air around him, blocking shots.
Sounds awesome.
To all the usual blam blam.
Extra pew pew blam blam. Love it. Oh my god.
Of course, all his waifus are still in tow too, and also, when they finally meet Miu's birth mom, she decides she also wants a piece of the man her daughter is calling Papa. Plus, that one hot teacher is still thinking about their mouth-to-mouth resuscitation session, and the camera's spent an awful lot of time focusing on Sword Girl. Even at 4 members, this harem clearly still has the potential for exponential growth. Also, the in medias res teaser that kicks off the whole season shows Hajime fighting a literal angel, so that's probably going to be pretty fun when it happens.
That's going to be stupid as hell.
The crawling monster fighting adventures our heroes have been on so far have already been a lot more fun than they were in Season 1.
Oh, damn.
Season 2's action has been considerably more competent than it was before, which more or less offsets the relative lack of hilarious horn dogging. Also, Seaman's back. Everyone loves a hot load of Seaman. Really, there's not much else
gross.
I can say about it.
Not everybody.
My last
oh yeah, you did a roast of it, yeah.
Season 2 still earns itself 4 high school dumpsters full of all the notebook doodles that you would totally murder most people if they ever laid eyes on them, on fire, naturally.
My god.
Set the fire, but then one of your drawings slipped out into the breeze and your crush picked it up and it was an extra spicy drawing. So
no, this is the worst. Oh god.
The drawing was slightly less spicy than the one from last season, but still spicy enough that you set yourself on fire.
Next.
Speaking of spice, it wouldn't be a real barbecue without a harem or two to throw on the
Here we go.
And there's another one of those.
World's End Harem.
Makes Ari Ferretta look downright restrained by comparison. I mean, I assume that's what's happening somewhere under all those.
Yeah, you don't know because it's just pixelated all over the show, man. I watched some of this with my girlfriend. She was like, "What's going on?" So embarrassing. Everyone wants him, man.
In a far future world where most diseases have been cured already, except for...
Isn't that far future? He's only put to sleep for like 4 or 5 years, isn't he?
Lucky for him, though, cryosleep has also been invented in this future, so he can just take a long nap while he waits for the treatment.
Oh, I see. Like when this initially happens is what you meant. Right, cool.
In current year, honestly sounds like an even more appealing escapist fantasy than the one this is setting up.
Do that to me now.
Anyway, right before his long nap, Reito's childhood friend promises him that she'll wait for him, which sounds nice, but actually puts him in a very awkward position when, right after
Yes, it
that,
does.
he finds out
You
that
have to
he's
bang
gonna
all the girls,
be
but I don't
MIA,
want to.
and also
But you
that
need
the
to,
entire
but I
male
won't.
population of Earth, except for 5 dudes with his disease, have all been killed by the mysterious
Male killer
virus.
yep.
And
The
it is now a
MKV.
solemn duty to our entire species to bang every woman on the planet, starting with the models and pop stars.
Such a
Is, of course,
shame.
horrified by this terrible burden.
No,
and
I have to do what?
immediately-
I have to put it where?
No,
In who?
seriously, that's what he does. That promise ring is fucking welded to this boy's finger, and he is gonna deliver his virginity to its intended recipient, even if it means reducing the genetic variability of the entire global human
You
population.
go ahead, lad.
by 20%. You know how frustrating it is when a flaccid Keitaro-type harem protagonist perpetually refuses to do the one thing everyone
Terrible.
watching wants to see him do, and also it's
Just
literally the
bang 'em.
cutest thing in the world somehow? Well, if that's your fetish, then this is the anime for you. I mean that very literally. Reito's ball handler, who also happens to look exactly
Ball
like a
handler.
childhood with white eyelashes, makes him a deal that he's got 30 days to buy
That's
10,000
dead funny.
but she's gonna put a new salute in his bed every single night to tempt him, just in case he changes his mind. And
God.
most of the plot is just that happening.
You see, like,
over and over.
she ain't
I mean,
your
there's a
girlfriend, so
secret
it's
sex murder
okay.
conspiracy
You know, you're not,
behind the
like, in a
scenes. Of course,
relationship.
they've also got to figure out what really happened with that virus. But from reading the manga entirely for research purposes,
Of course.
I can tell you that the vast majority of this story's runtime is just porn with extra steps.
Nice.
Or, I guess it would be one fewer step. I can also tell you that the art in the manga is exponentially better than
Cool.
anything that you will see in this anime,
Huh.
and also that Missing No doesn't get in the way of every single
Missing
thing
No,
that
the
you want to see.
Pokemon
Do
from
with
Red and
that
Blue.
information what you will.
Ooh.
I give this anime 3 waste paper baskets.
I
full
get
of
that
crumpled
reference,
tissues
'cause I'm old.
that are not on fire, and you know exactly why. Next up on this roast menu, the strongest sage with the
This
biggest
first
blaster,
episode blew
sorta
my brain. I was like,
isekai
what's going on?
adjacent
And I've watched the
games
second
anime
episode, and I'm
begin
just
when
like,
the writer
oh, it's
designs
too
the
much.
magic system, and that's it. That's all the world building work done. Also, all the character development, and especially
First episode goes
all of the
crazy,
plot,
man. It's
which
just
is
like,
about
it literally
the
3 episodes worth of
demons
stuff in
who
one
have
episode.
tricked all of mankind into using that magic system wrong, since Protag couldn't reincarnated 1,000 years ago to make us easier to conquer, fooling our entire species with such devious, uncrackable aliases
Yes.
as Devilis.
Devilis is a demon? Yeah, like what? Couldn't even think of a better name.
Everyone in the world now thinks that the strongest sage's crest, the hand-to-hand battle mage crest, is the
Weakest one,
But
yes.
it is actually the strongest.
Crazy!
That's why the title is what it is.
Yes.
See, there's 2 types of magic in this world. Incantation magic, which is slow and bad,
And the wordless magic.
which is fast and good.
Yay!
But the demons infiltrated the upper ranks of adventurer training
And they
schools
stopped
and
them from
convinced
learning
everyone
the
that
speechless
repeating a lightning
magic.
incantation in the middle of combat is infinitely more practical than pointing at a thing and then magic makes it go boom. And all of the people went along with that because
Plot.
if they didn't, then there would be no one to underestimate the protagonist on account of something he can't change, and
Yes.
then be amazed when he defies their bigoted expectations, and then they immediately start worshipping him as a god and begging him to have
Train
sex
us,
with
teach
them
us, we must
and
know your
all of their
ways.
female relatives. Not that being underestimated ever actually gets in his way. Like,
No.
dude has an exclusive audience with
The king. Yeah, straight away. In the first episode!
As a prize for his unrivaled heroics, considered
Oh,
equal
no,
in
that's not the
value
first episode, is it?
to
But
an
yeah.
entire fiefdom, a magic sword
Second episode.
that he made a couple days ago for fun. And on top of that, when he just straight up guesses that demons will be launching a full-scale invasion,
They all just go, oh, okay, yeah, Sam, he
based
knows
on
what he's talking
one
about.
piece of evidence, the king is just like, yes, that makes complete sense. I will trust you, small child I just met, with the defense of my entire nation,
kingdom, yeah,
based
like,
on a thing that
cool,
you made
go
up
for
and
it.
I have
Nice
no
one,
way
bro.
of verifying. Please take some of our national treasures to construct an anti-demon barrier. And the national treasure that he chooses just happens to be another magic
That
sword
he
that
made.
also made thousands of years ago before he killed most of reincarnated.
He should have just killed them all at
so
the
that he
time.
can have a character build with that crest from the title. So, like, the whole weak crest prejudice thing that's so important for the plot that it's the title is less of a significant societal obstacle that our hero has to overcome, and more a basic plot device that allows for him to be constantly underestimated and then surprise guys with how cool he is in every scene of every episode forever. That is all this entire anime is about.
It really
aside
is.
from the magic system.
You stay here in this, like, protective barrier while I go do the rest.
What makes the magic system
So weird.
and I just read the first Mistborn book, so I'm totally an expert on
Oh,
these
damn,
things.
education.
Isn't the cool things that it allows your heroes to do, but rather the limitations that it imposes upon them, which they must cleverly overcome to maximize that coolness. You can math out all the JRPG stats and magic particle physics you want, but at the end of the day, a magic system in a story needs to be a storytelling tool first, and wiki filler a far, far distant second. It must serve, first and foremost, to create interesting problems for your hero, while giving him or her enough wiggle room and tools to come up with novel and interesting solutions to those problems. I cast Big Fireball. Oh yeah? Well, I cast Magic Reflecting Orb is not that. I'm sorry, but anally categorizing and calculating aspects of a soft, hand-wavy, do-anything system does not add anything to its narrative utility.
Yeah, it's boring.
This show is pretty much just the misfit at Demon King Academy without any of the personality.
Yeah,
or
mate, that was actually quite entertaining, wasn't it? This is just,
or self-awareness
no.
or originality. I give it 2 back-alley bins full of soggy, slightly stale crackers and white bread.
Oh, but I
Plus a few
love
staff
crackers and
tables
white
torn out of
bread.
the Final Fantasy strategy guide.
Don't give me the
Out of
stale
all the
stuff.
anime I have to
Oh,
rate today, the next
Orient.
one probably makes me the saddest. Orient is the latest,
Disappointing, man.
greatest fantasy battle manga from
Apparently, loads of people waiting this for ages, and it's not that great.
Favorite anime, the Arabian Nights and
Oh, magic, yeah.
It follows some little guys.
It's got the same animation style. I did not notice, yes.
Bigger guys to save their fantasy Japan land from an evil alien demon army that has taken over and forced everyone to mine the rocks that they eat, and also everyone's been re-educated so that they think magic samurai, aka Bushi, are
the
big
bad
doo-doos,
guys.
that only the Bushi
But they're
are
not
able
the
to be
bad
heroes,
guys.
and if
It's
everyone bullies them,
insane.
then they won't have time to fight the Oni, I guess. Our fiery red-headed
Anyway.
hero Musashi doesn't believe everything he hears in mining slave school, though, so he's decided to turn his pickaxe into a katana and fight back against the Oni alongside his childhood friend Kojiro, whose father was a Bushi warrior.
Yes,
but of
he
course,
was.
Kojiro got bullied real bad.
No, the kids, they're mean.
Gosh, at least 10 minutes of soul searching before he's really ready to join that revolution.
Let's
Orient
go.
doesn't have a particularly gripping premise, nor are any of its characters all that interesting.
Yeah.
Plus, right away it starts leaning on recycled plot beats from Maji that make it seem really lazy. But
Oh,
the prospect
interesting.
of
See, I've not seen Maji
scale
still, so...
action scenes does at least have the potential to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the first thing that you'll probably notice about its anime adaptation is that it's not, actually animated most of the time.
It's a bit weird.
Also,
Yeah,
when
still
it
frames
is,
and stuff,
it
yeah.
kind of looks like complete ass. Okay,
It
the
doesn't look
occasional
great.
shot does rise to the same approximate quality level as your average 5-minute trigger shit post, but that's about the best you can hope for here. Basically, they took a manga that had exactly one thing going for it
And ruined
then
it.
removed that thing,
Oh,
which
mate.
is
Yeah, because I remember saying it wasn't that great in my video, and then a lot of comments were like, no, give it a chance, and it's like, it's not that great.
Steel trash can full of bent-up fake katanas from your local night market. I think the best way to approach roasting the next lump of garbage, Fantasia Sango, Realm of Legends, is to simply describe.
I didn't like this either. I did not like this.
Showing you how
I think I
much
watched the first
effort
episode and just like, nope.
It is Romance of the Three Kingdoms time in China, and because there's this purple gas, what turns people into monsters.
Yeah, this was.
the goddess
Yeah,
or
this is
something
what I was thinking. Yeah, this is not good.
disappears
This is not
before
good.
a
Yeah.
warrior dude in the middle of generic anime forest clearing number 427 and says, "Hey, yo, chosen one, you have been chosen. Go fight them monsters." Then he walks a bit of a ways down easy-to-paint dirt road number 69, where he meets an honorable lady warrior musician who's like, yeah, I'm down to fight some monsters, followed by a half-monster girl who fuels her monster powers by sucking down monster farts. And she's all like, sure, I'll fight with you.
But I have to, like, stop my powers.
Yeah. Angsty monster. Then they meet a slightly sassier warrior dude who's also a bit cowardly. And
yeah, but he was in the initial team that were all killed by her, wasn't he? So it's like, yeah.
So
no, they were killed by her.
And starts insulting him, and I guess that's
wasn't they?
Now.
Wasn't they? Weren't they?
Goddess or whatever is like, hey, fuck your PTSD, fight monsters or die. So now we have the obligatory whiny member of our
yay,
party,
the team's all together.
Together they set out for a random forest clearing with a monster in it, and they fight the monster, and then the half-monster girl eats all his farts and grows
yummy
yum
farts. Nom nom.
Roll credits.
Woo!
The next episode sees the crew hunting down an even more dangerous, crafty type of...
You see, I only watched the first episode and I was like, nope, no thank you.
Learn to be friends and trust each other and junk. And also, we learned that there is a big titty evil fortune teller lady who is using the...
Oh, I missed out on this.
More monsters behind the scenes.
Ah, she sounds great.
I don't think I really have to tell you anything that happens after that, because this show is literally nothing but tropes. Fantasia Sango is what would happen if Jim Davis took all the character writing skill and attention to background detail that he pours into every Garfield strip and made a shonen battle anime instead. I give it one standard issue steel trash can full of bent up fake Chinese broadswords from your local night market. While we're still on
oh my god, this was so bad.
Rusted Armor tells a tale of an alternate history Japan that's been secretly conquered by Spanish conquistadors.
This was so crap. The first episode was awful.
Stand together against them with the power of armors.
The action's just not there on screen. Maybe like for a few seconds, but it's just so... everything's so off screen or still image.
Yep. Like Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. Oda Nobunaga's also here, and his job seems to be explaining how the power system works, but he hadn't...
I only watched the first episode, so I don't see much with him, because he appeared at the end of the first episode, didn't he?
Watch another second of this crap, so that's all I can tell you. If I can
the animation's better than X-Arm. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's better, but X-Arm showed more on screen, is what I said in my video. I remember that, yeah. X-Arm tried to show the action. This just, it doesn't. It's too lazy.
Trust me, I have seen far more retina-searing sights than this. Of course, that art style also makes the show look like a cheapo Flash cartoon every time it needs to use 2D animation, or more often, completely static 2D art.
Yeah, it's weird.
And the character models themselves are excruciatingly awkward whenever they start moving, or the camera gets too close to them. Even a medium distance from them. But still, credit where it's due. X-Arm could have learned a thing or two from this show. Not a high bar to clear, but still a bar.
No. I feel like this show could learn a lot from X-Arm. Like, X-Arm tried to show the action. Like, this, from what I saw the first episode, it just didn't do anything.
But, okay, let me level with you. This is pure garbage.
Yep.
In terms of action choreography, weapon-based color-coded character designs, story structure...
No, considering what it's meant to be about, it just doesn't show it at all.
Over and over every episode, it is somehow a step down from Rooster Teeth's Rawubia in every respect.
Whoa.
I just feel real bad saying that, because they put these little variety show-style travelogue segments at the end of every episode where the two lead actors go to locations from the show and do fun things there.
Oh, that's cool. I must have missed that. I must have just not watched the end of the episode.
But to hurt their feelings by telling them they made a bad anime. But they did. They really fucking did. The CGI in Rusted Armors is so half-assed they have to cut around the characters jumping into water because they don't even have a splash effect. The dialogue alternates between unfunny jokes and long stretches of characters explaining either how they feel or how a world-building detail works, and there are so many characters introduced up front that it comes off more like a gotcha anime trying to sell you...
There is a lot of characters from the get-go, isn't there? Like,
Walmart dumpsters full of unsold
So
Power
bad.
Rangers,
So
Ninja Storm
bad.
toys,
What else
and
have we
those
got? What else have we got
DVDs
this
that try
season
to
that's
trick
bad?
old people into thinking they're whatever DreamWorks or Pixar thing their grandkids actually wanted for Christmas, blazing hot and belching out toxic black smoke.
Jeez.
Now, last but not least, well, actually the last show on this list kind of is the least. Probably could have gone out on a much stronger note, but I just couldn't resist the urge to make this video an isekai sandwich. The first episode of She Proclaimed Herself.
Oh, I hated the first episode.
One of the most tremendous betrayals of basic storytelling.
Yeah, the last few minutes was so frustrating.
Fully half of it is spent exposition.
I enjoyed the first half of this. I thought it was boss. I hope he's going to go on about the last few minutes. It's just ruined it.
Country, and there's these 9
It was dead interesting.
players called sages who protect it. Then one of the sages, Old Man Danbolf, goes off to fight an army.
I just watched the first episode and I was like, I don't like how they ended that. Done.
With his army of terrible CGI knights.
Yeah, they were badly CGI,
Very,
but
very out of place J-pop inserts.
Mm.
Then he comes back and the king shakes his hand for a job well done. And over this picture of them shaking hands, the narrator cuts in to inform us that right after this happened, all of the sages disappeared and the entire world was thrown into chaos. This episode had 3 minutes to spare for a bad CGI music video and 0
for actually explaining what
the
happened.
inciting incident of the anime's entire plot.
Yeah.
Also, it apparently had 4 minutes to spare right after that for a sloppily animated, completely dialogue-free
It was
montage
so
of
bad.
a little girl waking up in a field in Old Man Gandalf's clothes, sniffing a flower, and then walking.
I hated it. I hated it. It's like, just tell us what's going on.
That is all the plot points that happen in that montage.
Yep.
It goes on for 4 minutes. I don't understand how it's that bad.
Yeah,
Next
it was
episode,
awful.
We find out this little girl actually is Old Man Gandalf, who passed out in the middle of using a cosmetic item to character design his ideal woman. Don't think about that.
So that's...
Then he woke up what turns out to be 30 years after everyone else in the MMO found themselves Log Horizon, which I guess the narrator just forgot to
mention that. Wow, okay, so that's what happens. Jesus.
She's Danbolf's pupil instead of Danbolf, and her name is now Mira.
Oh, so she pretends,
The other
right.
kingdoms would laugh at their kingdom if their greatest warrior looked like a little girl, even though she has all the same one-man army powers that made her a badass.
So you would be like, what's going on
And also,
there?
their king perpetually looks like a 12-year-old boy. On top
He
of
looks a
all
very
these
young
fundamental
Lelouch.
storytelling failures and embarrassing production values, Pupil of the Wise
Jesus.
Man also bears the dishonorable distinction of creating quite possibly the least funny, horny reaction character in the entire history of anime. This green-haired mage girl with the glasses. At one point, Mira splashes holy water on a mirror, and for some reason, this makes the glasses mage girl start uncontrollably humping her staff, so the elf girl in their party has
Nice.
to put her in a headlock.
Let's go.
Another time, Mira says she has a secret, and the concept of her having a secret makes the mage girl so uncontrollably horny again that the elf girl has to put her
just
in a
someone
headlock.
just bang her, just get
It's
it out
not
of her
just the
system. She needs it.
repetitive nature of the gag that
Jesus.
gets me, or even the transparently lazy attempt to offset the inherent creepiness of a Mineta-style character by putting the horny words in a female mouth. It's the fact that just trying to figure out what this girl is even horny about makes even me, with my thoroughly hentai-poisoned brain, feel like I'm having a stroke. Another recurring joke of this variety is that Mira has a smaller bladder than she's used to now, so she sometimes has to run off to take a specifically steamy piss in the nearest bathroom. The second time this happens, it is literally in the middle of a dungeon.
Why
An ancient,
even...
cursed necropolis with indoor plumbing. What'll they think of next? An isekai anime that's actually good? I give She Proclaimed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man 4 dumpsters full of manga and anime with very large disclaimers.
And they were all the ones that I said I'm probably not going to carry on with, and there we go.
18, plus a mountain of old MMO free trial CDs, all burning bright like it's the 4th of July. And that's all the trash we've got to roast today. Though, if you're not completely satisfied with tonight's menu, you could also check out the recently released Freak Angels, which I recently covered in my roundup of all the Crunchyroll originals. I won't rehash what I said in that video, but I will play this clip again.
What is it about the apocalypse apparently that makes me so damn thirsty? Christ. What if I'm a pockle pregnant? Oh, fucking cliche.
And since it doesn't have a trash rating already, I give it 5 Whitechapel pub skips full of week-old fish and chips and poser punk albums, soaked in cheap scotch and burning hot. Check out the Crunchyroll Originals rundown if you want to hear more.
That was a good
I'm Jeff
video.
Thu,
Good video.
Trash sommelier extraordinaire, signing out from the bottom of another dumpster.
Yeah. I'm glad. It's nice. I did my video at the start of the season discussing what I liked, what I thought was okay, what I disliked, and they were all on my disliked list. So I feel like I have done a good job. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. We're nearing the end, aren't we? We've got like a few more weeks of the winter season. We're on like episode 7s or 8, so like 4 more weeks, maybe like another month. I might do a video breaking down what I thought was really good about the season, how maybe it changed, what I'm watching. But until then, thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video, we upload links in the description of the Patreon page. $1 a month is all I ask to help support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. So you guys next time.